After a coalition of big city mayors makes a desperate plea to the governor for more funding to get people off the streets, there are some things to celebrate in the state's fight against homelessness. California's Interagency Council on the Problem reports that 109 people were housed and another 229 folks were put on a pathway to having a permanent place to live, thanks to the governor's 100-day challenge on encampments. Emily Halcon, Sacramento County's Director of Homeless Initiatives, with me now live. Good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. For the 100-day challenge, Sacramento County was able to house 4 people, get 12 headed in that direction, and start intensive case management for 49 others as they pursue a permanent place to live. But by no means is that all that's going on in the county when it comes to attacking the problem of homelessness. Thanks to American Rescue Plan dollars, that's a federal COVID relief package, $150,000 will now be spent on water distribution for the homeless. Is that right?
Yeah, amongst a lot of other investments that the county is making. So when the county received our first half of our American Rescue Act funds, which is $150 million, the board directed $59 million of that to be dedicated towards programs to help support housing and homelessness. And this is definitely a reflection of their commitment to being a part of the solution and to the dire situation we have here in our community. And so amongst the investments, you'll see things like you pointed out, things that do direct services with encampments, but just as importantly, things to create new housing opportunities, to increase access to housing, and to create new sheltering opportunities.
Of the $5.8 million rescue plan dollars the county's received for all this, some will be spent on addressing the people who have made their homes along the American River Parkway. We're talking about this 2 years and 2 days after managers of the Salvation Army Center of Hope were afraid of losing Sacramento City funding to help manage their day-to-day operation. And now there's $2.45 million that we spent specifically to target the unsheltered who've been living on the parkway.
Yeah. In partnership with the Salvation Army, the board has committed $2.5 million, which will support operations of 60 beds within their program over the next 2 years. And those will be specifically targeted for folks who are living on the American River Parkway. The board had already committed funds for outreach navigation through our budget process. And so this is really augmenting those efforts and creating a real exit plan for people who are on the parkway and hopefully a relief to the broader community.
One thing I often hear from critics of the county's approach to homelessness is, and we're talking about upwards of 5,000 people who need off of county streets. One thing critics say is that there are too many hurdles, too many steps for those in need to go through to get help. And some of this federal money, $3 million worth, is going to go to streamlining the current efforts.
Yeah, I appreciate you asking that because sometimes these types of projects don't get the same attention, but they're critically important. So the board allocated $3 million. This is to augment funds already provided by the city of Sacramento, as well as some funding through Sacramento Steps Forward to enhance our coordinated access system. So right now, as you described, if you're experiencing homelessness in the community, you may need to call 5 different numbers or figure out the access routes into different systems. This is intended to create a one front door, a no wrong front door for people who are experiencing homelessness, and to make sure that all of the resources that we have are being used efficiently and effectively and are full all the time. The last thing we want to do is have beds that aren't filled, and sometimes their vacancy is really due to people not knowing how to access them. So this will really help.
My goodness, you're talking about having to make 5 different calls for a population that may have very limited access to phones, in addition to the frustration of trying to deal with that when you're already in very difficult circumstances. Now, according to the county's website, there's now going to be a, quote, focus on immediate housing problem solving, and that the county will be working to, quote, facilitate coordinated access to available shelter and other homeless assistance. Sounds a lot like the Housing First models advocates have been recommending for years, but beyond that, it sounds like this immediate focus once someone connects with the county kind of should have always been what was happening. It sounds very simple the way that that is described. What's been standing in the way of that being the approach?
Sure. No, I mean, I think that these concepts and principles, as you described, are the things that we have all been working towards for years. And all of our programs have been oriented towards housing first and to reducing barriers to folks. Sometimes it's just a matter of resources. And so the great thing is with the one-time infusion of American Rescue Plan is we can scale up these things that we've been doing in a small scale and pilots and really bring them to scale to meet the needs of the people who are experiencing homelessness. This by no means will meet everybody's needs, but one of the critical investments the county is making is what you described as problem solving. Not everybody who's living unsheltered needs to go through the path of a shelter into transitional housing and into housing. For those who can go directly from living on the streets into housing, this will help cut that out and hopefully reduce the time that people are living on the streets, waiting for a bed in a system, a shelter system to open up.
And that's really the goal of everybody here, folks that are providing the services and the folks who desperately need them. Now, after a long tenure with the City of Sacramento in homeless services, July will mark 1 year since you've been in your current position as Director of Homeless Initiatives for the county. What do you feel is the biggest change that you've been able to effect in this first year, and what specific goal do you have for year 2?
Oh, thanks for noting that. Well, nothing that I have done has been on my own. The great thing about working here in the county and in the city as well is there's so many people dedicated to this issue. This is definitely the community's #1 priority. So one of the things that I really appreciate working in the county is the collaboration amongst my colleagues, those in health services, those in human assistance, even those in the Department of Transportation, whose job really isn't to do homelessness. One of the things the pandemic taught us is how to break down our own internal silos and how to work across systems of care more efficiently. So my goal for the next year, in addition to sort of standing up some of these programs the county's invested in, is to continue that path, to take the lessons learned from COVID and institutionalize them in how we do work going forward.
Alrighty, and we will be checking back in with you to see how all of that works out and how these dollars spent are really meeting the needs out there on the street. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.